Hello everyone. So I am with you with the new session of the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? That is the new session of the chapter. So the next topic of the chapter is elements. As in the previous sessions and in the previous class, you already know that metals are of three types. And in the very first session of this chapter, we already have discussed this thing that elements are classified into three things, that is metal, non-metals and metalloid. So these are the three kinds of elements. Here we will discuss about the physical properties of metals and non-metals, and their chemical properties you will discuss in your next class, that means in your 10th class. So, the difference between metal and non-metal. Before starting the difference, so I want to say you that before starting the difference between metal and non-metal, you should keep something in your mind. Metal, like you can keep iron in your mind, like you can keep silver in your mind. These are metals. And non-metals like oxygen in the air, like carbon, that means the lead of your pencil is made up of carbon, that is the non-metal. So we will start to differentiate between metals and non-metal by keeping these things in mind. So let's start the difference. They have luster. Luster means shine. So as we know that gold, silver, they all shine. So metals have luster, whereas non-metals are not lustrous. So what is the meaning of luster? Luster means shine. Second, they are ductile. Ductile, that means it is an ability of an element and especially metal that they can be drawn into thin wire. The topic was in your 8th class also. You already have discussed these terms. They are non-ductile, that means they cannot be converted into thin wire except some exceptional cases. They are malleable. Malleable means can be converted into thin sheet, and these are non-malleable. As you can take the example of silver foil. A very thin layer of silver is made with the help of the silver metal. So because the silver is malleable, that's why it is possible, otherwise not. They conduct heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. They are sonorous. Sonorous means they can produce ringing sound when we strike on any hard surface. For example, when we hit with the help of hammer on it, then they produce ringing sound. And they are non-sonorous. So these are the basic difference, physical difference between metals and non-metals. The another one is metalloids. Metalloid, the third category of metal. And metalloid is a special kind of metal because they are intermediate of metals and non-metal. They are having the properties between metals as well as non-metal. And some examples are boron, silicon, germanium, etc. Okay, now move to the next one. This one is very important activity. This activity indicate the difference between mixture and compound. First, I want to tell you about the mixture and compound. Mixture, in which the elements or compound just mix together to form in any ratio. किसी भी ratio में आप उनको मिला सकते हैं to form another substance, to form a compound. And compounds, elements reacts to form a new compound. So here you can see that no new compound is formed by mixing the elements or compound in any ratio. Whereas if you fix together into a definite ratio, then they form a new compound. Mixture, a mixture has a variable composition, as I told you. In any ratio you can mix it, whereas compounds have always a fixed ratio. A mixture shows the properties of constituent substance. Obviously, the substances which we mix together, they show their property. Whereas when we mix the substances in a definite proportion, then they form a new substance, and in that condition, they will not show the property of individual component. whereas they gain some new properties, they show some new properties. The constituent can be separated by physical method, whereas the constituents cannot be separated by physical method. We have to apply some chemical or some electrochemical reactions to separate them. This difference will be easier to understand when we discuss about this activity. I'm talking about this one. So let's discuss. This is a china dish, and in this china dish there is a mixture of iron filling and sulfur, and I have mixed together in any proportion. That means I have not taken some particular measurement that this much is the iron filling and this much is the sulfur powder. In any ratio you can mix it. And in the second condition, we take the same china dish, add sulfur and iron in a fixed proportion and heat it. Okay, so this one is one set and this one is another set. Let's discuss that what happened in the first one. As these are not heated, so they are not chemically mixed with each other. So what happened, when you keep an iron bar magnet, especially a magnet near the mixture, then all the iron filling, as you know that iron has a tendency to attract towards the magnet. So all the iron filling, iron particles, they will attract towards the magnet, and only sulfur will left behind inside the china dish. So it is a simple physical method in which by using a magnet you can easily separate iron filling and sulfur powder. And you can also do one thing. There is a solution in lab, that is carbon disulfide, CS2. This solution has an ability that it can dissolve sulfur into it but not iron fillings. So when you put this mixture into the carbon disulfide, then iron filling will left here, but the the sulfur, that can easily dissolve into the carbon disulfide, and that's why the color of the solution will become yellow. You can see here yellow solution of sulfur in CS2. So here we can see it is a mixture, and there are two components, iron and sulfur. Iron show its individual property, that is to be attracted towards the magnet, and sulfur shows its individual property, that is to be dissolved inside the carbon disulfide. Whereas in this one set, when we heat the mixture, then a solid compound is formed, and when we put a iron bar near this solid compound, then no attraction. It means where is that iron? Now iron is converted into a new compound, that is FeS, iron sulfide, and this iron sulfide do not show the property of iron now, as I discussed with you that in the compound formation the component will not show their individual property. Here they can show because this is a mixture, but here as they have converted into the compound, so that's why they will not show their individual property. And the same you can see here, when iron sulfide is mixed into carbon disulfide solution, in that condition also, now sulfur cannot mix into carbon disulfide because that is not sulfur now, that is iron sulfide. So the conclusion is that whenever there is a mixture, they the components of the mixture can show their individual property, but in the compound formation they do not show. Secondly, you can separate the mixture by using physical method, like by using magnet, by using carbon disulfide, but in the compound formation we cannot separate them by simple physical method. So I think with the help of this activity, this difference is very much clear to you. In the next slides, I put all the questions that in your NCERT in-text question as well as exercise question. I will discuss these questions with you. These are the question answers. You can easily copy that in your notebook. The third one is there. The fourth one. Okay, this one is very important question. Another questions. Okay, so this is the last one question. I will discuss all these questions with you in your Zoom meeting. So this is today's session. I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. Goodbye.